According to the World Economic Forum, it will take 118 years for women to have the same career prospects as men. No country in the world has closed its gender gap. Even as female leaders steer multinationals and major economies, the reality is a working world which still excludes, underpays, overlooks and exploits half of its available talent. Women have increasingly become more involved in the workforce following World War II. Paid employment of women has shifted from primarily traditional female-oriented jobs like being a nurse, teaching or offering catering services to more non-traditional and previously male-oriented careers like engineering, mining, construction, among others. In some cases, occupations have already been labeled as male or female-oriented, and strong forces act to keep those gender assignments, with the underlying thought that it's still a man's world. However, the landscape is gradually changing as more and more women are choosing career paths that have been dominated by men for a long time. Gifty Aframa Gandhi is one of such women. She is a mining engineer here at the Prestia underground mines of Golden Star Resources.
I had that passion to work at a male-dominated environment. So from Obuasi, after my completing my JHS, from St. Joseph JSS Obuasi, I went to Ifiakobi Secondary School where I had science, because that's where I can venture into engineering. But then at that time, I hadn't decided to go into mining engineering because I didn't know there was a course like mining engineering. But I wanted to be an engineer. So when I completed school, I visited someone who was a senior at SS, and she was at the UMA doing mining engineering. I said, oh, do you have that course? Then I'll venture.
Working in the mining industry is quite a challenging choice and requires stamina and passion to be successful. This is something Gifty knew about right at the beginning of her career. She's currently a shift boss in the mines. Gifty leads a crew of 20 men who are sunk almost a kilometer deep into the belly of the earth to mine gold.
If people are working there and they are not dead, I can go and work there. So I was anxious. I wanted to see how the place is. So on my first day underground, it was an escape route, which you have to walk through a route. It was very difficult. My first tax underground wasn't easy. But with that one, I was so anxious. When I realized we took the cage, we went, everything was normal. I was just climbing the ladders and everything was normal. But it's because I was determined to do it.
Mining is recognized as being one of the most male-dominated industries in the world. A recent study from Women in Mining UK and PricewaterhouseCoopers suggested that women make up just 10% of the global mining workforce and 5% of board positions in the top 500 globally listed mining companies. The situation is not very different at the Prestia underground mines. There are only 2 women who work here in the core underground operations, Gifty and Ernestina.
I came to Golden Star in 2013 as a graduate trainee. So since 2013 to date, I was practicing my ventilation field. So currently I'm a ventilation engineer at Golden Star as a staff.
Ernestina and her crew have a difficult job of ensuring that the quality of air in the underground operation is safe.
That's my job, to monitor the quantity. If we talk about the quantity, we talk about the volume of air you're sending underground. And then we are governed by the airline, so we don't just go underground and pick any values at all. We have our airline, that's the legislative instrument 2182, that governs us on the quantity to measure the quantity of air per each equipment, per an individual. And then afterwards, we move to the quality of air. We study the quality of air. We look at the gases in the air. We look at the water in the air. We look at the dust, the smoke in the air.
Going underground can be scary sometimes, especially with a shaft. The journey inside the earth can be very long depending on how deep the mine is. Every day, Ernestina and Gifty go to work in this vehicle. It's a small iron cage big enough to carry about 10 people.
We came from a school which was male-dominated, and then the field we were coming were already, I was aware of the number of people working here being male-dominated, so it's normal. It's just like working with anybody else. You get the respect from them for the fact that, as I say, you're a wife, a mother, you get it from them, you get the support from them. So it's not any extraordinary feeling, it's a normal feeling out there, working with normal people. And I would say it's even easier working with men than women, because they respect you, they obey your orders, they try to put you on track when you're off track. Or some, you know, ladies, sometimes you go off track anytime. Anytime we can get frustrated at any time, but they have a way of talking you back to track. So it's normal working with men.
Mining is historically very labor-intensive, with physically difficult work under challenging conditions. Often, the physical strength and effort required from many underground jobs simply prevents many women from being able to effectively do them. Some of the most difficult jobs, such as rock drill operators, may also have physiological risk for women. Gifty is at the core of such activity, drilling and producing the gold.
Since we began working with Gifty, you know, Gifty, all along, she planned to come and work in the mining. And she knew that maybe one day she will find herself in underground. She attended School of Mines, and he became a mining engineer. So since she came here, nobody intimidated her. Even our level, we were happy to see a woman, a lady like her, even struggling with the men to make life better for others and herself. So since she began working with us, there were two, she and or three. There were other ladies with her. So when we get her in our crew, we were happy. And we all work together. Nobody intimidated her because she knows her right. She was also bold. You cannot intimidate Gifty. She's strong.
The first responsibility of a supervisor is their safety. That's your first responsibility, not even the production, the gold you bring out. It's the safety of your workmen. So if I go and I check that everything is in place, what my strength can do to help them, such as you short labor, because this one will come, I'm sick, madam, I'm not feeling well. So you realize that the job they've tasked you to do with the kind of labor that you have now, you will need to assist them in a way. There are other tasks that are not heavy. It's not, I can't pick a drill, because the drill you're using is very heavy. Per my strength, I can't pick it. But the other can help them arrange the place set and support, bring it into them so that they wouldn't stop doing that, because maybe a short labor. I wouldn't stop doing that. So there's some small thing my strength can do. Because operating the Loki like this, so if an emergency, I can just take the Loki and it doesn't use manual. And now mining, most of them are mechanized, and the manual ones are few. So the guys they do almost everything, but the little help I do, I just give in to help them.
It's our culture. You know, we feel this, not pity for women. Or women, you're not, as a woman, you're not supposed to carry this weight. Even if you're able to, they won't allow you, because they feel you are their wife. Because when they're in the house, they won't allow their wife to carry a bag of cement, no. They won't allow their girlfriend or their female child to carry a bag of cement. So same applies to you. So in a way, I'll say they pamper us a bit, which helps our job to move. Yes. So it's not like they intimidate us. No. They know we can also do the same equal task. But our society doesn't allow us to do some level of jobs. Yes, so they come in and help.
You know, we men have that pride or ego that you are a woman. That's our culture. That's what our culture teaches us. But with her, sometimes I call her my sister because of the relationship she has with us. We are three working under her. And then I can put my neck on the ground that none of us would say she's difficult working with, because she's the listening type. Even though she assumes the role of a supervisor, though she came to meet us here, but with the knowledge she acquired from school and then what she's been able to cope and learn quickly, she's been able to manage or steer affairs or the ventilation department. So working there is not really difficult at all because she's free.
Underground conditions mean that women are often especially vulnerable. Crowded conveyances and work areas, lack of toilet and changing facilities, and the fact that there are very few other women working near them all make working underground more difficult for women.
No control combined, going down. Up track, 6 up track.
In another mine at Wassa Achempim, there are few more females here than there are in the Prestia underground operations. They do everything from underground geological survey, ventilation, production, driving to drill bit sharpening. Edith Owusua is one of them. She is a geotechnical engineer.
It's relating to geology. When you do geology in school, we have those aspects. So when you come here, you can be a geotech engineer. With geotech, we do with the strength of the rock. Since we are in underground, we excavate and we have to support. When you look up here, we have meshes and boats. That's the work of the geotechnical engineer. I chose this work because when I stayed in Takwa, and when I was growing up, I saw all the mine workers, and I wanted to be a miner. My father worked in a mine. He was an electrician. So I had interest in working in the mine. And I consulted. I want to work in the mine. What course should I do? How can I be there? The interest was there from childhood already. So what courses to do? I asked and they guided me. I got interested in geology. I studied geology, and when I came here, I'm assigned to the geotechnical engineer department, and I'm learning a lot.
My name is Selma Ollins-Boham, usually called Selma on site. I'm an underground mine surveyor, and what we do basically is to give direction, okay, as to where the mine is going and per the design of the mine. And then after we have given the design, after they have blasted, after they've taken all the materials, we come back and then we do pickups like I was doing before, and we report on the volumes of material that have been mined out with regards to development and also the stope, which is production.
These are bold, hard-working women doing so well in an environment where even men shudder to operate. Nonetheless, the fact that almost every woman who is physically able to work underground will be of childbearing age also has implications for that work. No pregnant woman can work underground, and the mine is obligated to provide safe above-ground work during pregnancy, maternity leave, and breastfeeding. Ernestina and Gifty are both mothers.
You can't be pregnant, heavily loaded, heavily pregnant and go underground. But you need to get, so if your boss don't understand, you may quit your job. They don't understand that you've menstruated. I can't go and tell them the menstruation. So we have a way of dealing it ourselves, myself and Tina. That one we discuss this, and then so that one doesn't go to them. But pregnancy, you can't hide it. So what if you have a boys and said, okay, you said you are rubbing guys shoulder with the guys, so go there. What can you do? You have to quit job. So the most important, but I thank God that my bosses here really understood it. The moment they found out from the medical report that I'm pregnant, gave me an alternative job on surface to do. So I delivered and came. But so it all boils down to those you are working with, especially those above, not those you are supervising or anything. Those above you should understand it. If not, you are a tight corner. You can't work in a mailroom if they don't understand you. Because with pregnancy and the kind of job, if it's my planning that I'm in your office and others, you can still cope. But with a production lady like me, going there, working on 9 shifts, I was going on day shifts and 9 shifts, and you can't use pregnancy for all that.
You get pregnant, for some months you'll not be able to go underground there. That's why as a leader you need to train your people. So when you're not even around, they can do virtually everything that you do. So what I was virtually doing was reporting. Pick this for me at this location, do this for me, I just report. Went off for 3 months, they kept the job moving. So that is it. As a leader, you train the people behind. That's what I try doing and I've done. Yeah, so it has really, really helped with a career as a lady, with all these challenges you have to go through, all these breaks you have to go through in your life. If you have people supporting you, well trained, they can do the same job as you.
You know, women, she might get pregnant when she is in that moment, what they experience during every month. She cannot be going about with us every day as male employees here. So with that, since we understand that, we sometimes let her be at the surface and we know what we are doing too. So she tells us, go and do that and that and that. We have Motorola's to talk with, so if we have difficulties, we call her and then she advises on what and what to do. Except there are special parameters or features she would like us to pick, then she might have to be talking to us as and when we pick the readings.
This job and family. My husband really, and of course he's also from the engineering background. And I tell him whatever goes on at work. So if you are speaking with my husband, he can tell you what some of the things I do, some of the things I don't do, some of the things happening in my mind. Not everything do, but the ones that he has to know. So he understands. You know, I work on shifts. So he knows my shift 4-2. I work 4 days on, 2 days off. I go 4 days on night shift, 2 days off. So he knows how to. So he wouldn't even expect me in the night or anything like that, because he understands. So if you get a partner that understands your job, and he's also from the engineering background, so he knows how busy that thing is. So he understands and even give his support to me. He said, Gifty, you have to go up in your career. So if I'm even to bring mattress for you to sleep there, I'll bring it and take care of the home. So managing it, you need to also get an understanding partner. Your partner understands it, then everything is okay. Because now my baby is home and I'm here. 3 months baby is home and I'm here.
Luckily for me, my husband too is a mining engineer, so he understands the job. Currently, he is also working somewhere, so I'm here. We plan our days. I plan my day from dawn to, I know when to wake up, when to plan for the kids to school, when to close, what to do to them when I close, what I do at work. So you should always have a plan, daily plan. That's a short-term plan. You should always have it. Otherwise, you're going to be frustrated. So I've planned it. At this time, I'm getting ready to close. When I get home, I know my daughters will be home. Make sure they've eaten. We all play together. We lie down small. We eat, we bath, then we sleep. That's the day. So anytime he also comes, you know where to fit. So my husband understands it. My kids, I know, will grow up to understand. So it's all about planning.
The industry is changing as more women become part of the working force in the mines, not only underground, but in management as well. It is not uncommon to find women sitting on the board of directors of major mining companies. In addition, women's opinions are no longer sidelined when it comes to making major decisions in the mines.
When I finished school, everyone said to me, Philippa, you're a smart girl. You should go and become a teacher or an accountant or a nurse. And I remember thinking to myself, hang on, that's not right. All the boys who went to school with me who studied physics and chemistry were going off to engineering. They were going off to science. You know, why wasn't this an option for me? I had been lucky. I'd grown up in a family of strong women, and I was encouraged very early to do what it was I wanted to do. Like most girls at the end of year 12, I wasn't entirely sure, but I knew that I liked science. And so I enrolled, and I was lucky enough to get offered places at 3 of the universities in Western Australia. And I went to one of the universities which had a school that actually studied mines. It was the West Australian School of Mines, and they also had an agricultural college. So right from the beginning when I went to that university, I was being exposed to primary industry and heavy industry. At the end of my second year of science, I noticed that a lot of the women in the course started to dwindle. You know, perhaps the cultural pressures became too great. There was a lot, even in those days, 20 years ago, of pressure for girls to go off and do things in the arts, not in science, not to stay in engineering.
A significant challenge to women in the industry is the fact that equipment, whether overalls, personal protective equipment, boots or tools, have been designed with men in mind. This means overalls are too big or too tight and cannot be easily adjusted and necessitate complete undressing for use of toilet facilities. In most cases, boots are too wide and long. Until 1986, West Australian mine owners faced fines of up to $500 if women were caught working underground. Today in Ghana, cultural and gender stereotypes are the main barriers for young women who may wish to work in some of the male-dominant careers. But this is changing, and changing fast.
Mining then wasn't as it is now. Now we are more in the technological world. At first, you might have to carry the drilling machine as you saw over there on your shoulder. Go to where you have to drill and then drill. Now you have machines carrying everything. So women can come in here and work as men. Though there are times, as I already said, you cannot be doing the male masculine field here. But then being a woman doesn't really affect productivity or your effectiveness at all, really, yeah.
We have advanced in technology. It wasn't like before. Today we have machinery, we have everything, we use machines. Like the stoves that we are using, the stoves, we use a machine like a machine called Almat. That's why we used to mine them. It wasn't before that we climb and go and mine. The stoves, wherever we are, I know even areas from mining, women are drillers. So when they come, they also, we train them. They also become like us. So it is good to be in the mining sector if only you create passion for that. And we are encouraging our small girls, our sisters, those who are out there trying to come or wanted to be a mining engineers one day, they are welcome.
And one of the jobs I worked in, we were trying to encourage women specifically into mining. And the mine I worked at had a big open pit operation, 777s, massive excavators. And the mining manager came to me one day, Philippa, I really like these couple of women operators that we've got. Is there any way we can get some more women in here? And he was talking to me because my department had a program of training for Indigenous people, and a lot of the Indigenous females were the ones who finished up driving the trucks in his operation. I was curious. I said to him, Jeff, why is it that you want to have the women in the operation? Because I like to share these stories with people. He said to me, Philippa, they're much better drivers. They drive more carefully. They drive slowly. They don't slam the brakes on. They're not trying to take the corners, you know, at great speed. I said to him, okay, well, I can see that that's a safety benefit. He said, but it's cost too, Philippa. Remember, on those trucks, one of those tyres is worth $10,000. My 2 women operators, the tyres stay on the truck for a week or more longer than they do for the men.
It's unfortunate, almost all the ladies that, the young ladies that complete SHS in Ghana, if you ask them the type of job they want to do, they want to be a nurse. Almost invariably. I don't understand why, but even teaching, not many people tell you they want to be teachers, but for nursing, almost every girl that you interview will want to be a nurse. I don't understand why. Now, I want to use this platform to encourage all the young women who are coming up and coming that mining has been the mainstay occupation for a lot of Ghanaians over 100 years now, over a century. And it is time the women got the courage to join hands with the men in doing the mining the gold that God has so given us.
It is hoped that such words of encouragement will spur girls like Kezia and Joycelyn on to make the right career choices. Choices that will require a little more passion, determination, and some audacity.
I would say it's something I thought of recently, because when I came into the science department, I thought my parents were like, I'll do medicine. Even till now, my mom still wants me to do medicine. But I think about it and I feel like it's not for me. It's not something that I'm supposed to do, because I'm not ordinary. I'm somebody different from everybody else.
Joycelyn wants to be a chemical engineer. Her friend Kezia has a similar ambition, petroleum engineering. It has been her dream since she was a little girl.
Since my childhood, my mommy has always been saying that. And I myself, I realized that I'm good in fixing of things in the house. In case if there is anything that gets spoiled at home, I am called to always fix it. For instance, my mommy is not at times aware of what I do. She'll be in the house, then she'll be in the living room, then all of a sudden I call her to tell her that, Mommy, I'll fix this, and then she's like, how am I able to do this? Because it's something that is meant for boys. But in my world, I believe that there's something called gender equality, which is meant for all. Everyone is capable of doing something. Everyone has the capability to do that. So that's why I went into petroleum engineering.
Gender stereotyping and perceptions about subjects and career options suitable for young women are often reinforced in schools and families. Such stereotyping impacts negatively on the career choices of young women and creates barriers to increasing young women's participation in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and non-traditional occupations. But these girls are poised to break through the glass ceiling created by such gender stereotyping and rise above the limiting tendencies of gender labeling.
In my world of understanding, I believe that what men can do, women can do is better. That's what motivates me in life. So I don't believe that engineering is a course meant for only men. There are other women who are better than men in that field. So that's what keeps me moving. On the minds of the world and the society as a large, I want to create a mark where people will look at it and say, this was the first female to do this job. This was the first female to go into petroleum engineering and to have the highest position rank in petroleum engineering.
It could take a few more years to bridge the gender gap and get more women and girls to take career paths in areas dominated by men. That journey might be long and difficult, but the beautiful thing is that there's a steady stream of women with unbridled strength and resolve to break through and become who they want to be and challenge the status quo.
Every society has its trailblazers, the ones who go first. You know, maybe you're the person who wants to take that challenge, but you're not going to miss out on anything else. All those other things are still a fruitful part of your life moving ahead. And mining companies, I find, are actually very respectful and very responsible about making sure that their workforce still have adequate time to be people for society as well, not just for the company. Well, I'll just say what I say to my own daughter: you can be anything you want to be.